Can you talk us through, is this the very first text you received from the defendant?
Yes.
Now, do you remember or know how he got your cell phone number?
No.
And is that captured in your response to the first text that you got?
Yeah.
All right. Now, this next part at the bottom that starts off by the, and by the way, I should ask this, who is blue and who is gray?
Gray is James. I'm in blue.
Okay. The gray part at the bottom there, right under April 9th, 2012 at 4:39 p.m. Sick of Delacqua yet, he would always linger way too long. What, put that in context for us. What is that a reference to?
So I was in the Delacqua lab, so I was the third rotation. And Delacqua, I mean, he would come in, like late in the day and just kind of hang around the lab. And it's always awkward. Like if you want to leave and your professor's there, it's like your boss is there. You don't really want to just be like, hey, okay, I'm going to leave now. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, 10463, please. There's a gray part here that starts off with no bueno. He got pissed at me. What are you guys conversing about here? Talking about Delacqua.
Just how he did in the lab itself. I was trying to figure out if he liked it or not, and apparently he did not like it.
Okay. And did he ever express to you any different feelings about that second rotation?
His second rotation? Any different feelings other than that he didn't like it? No, it was definitely clear that he was not going to join that lab. That Delacqua, they just didn't get along, or, yeah.
4, please, ma'am. In speaking about the rotations, down here at the bottom, and ma'am, could you blow up the bottom gray and blue part right there? Do you know what, in talking about what rotations to do, what the defendant is referencing in his gray box there?
That he wanted to join Ahim Klug's lab.
Okay, thank you. Can you go to 6, please? This is all part of the same conversation. Your blue square, tell us what you're referring to here, what you're telling the defendant.
So I was roommates with Yom Puli. He was my roommate. And I found out later that's how James got my number, because they had studied together. And so Yam was Korean, and he had another friend who I couldn't remember his name, like this other Korean guy. That's who I'm referring to. And I was telling him that I was sure which lab I was going to join, and that was my second rotation.
And so by April 9th, when you're having this conversation, you'd already had confirmation that you'd had a lab for the remainder of your PhD program?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Sorry. All right, can you please go to 8, ma'am, and the bottom of that? Now, this is now April 23rd. It looks like there's been a break in the conversation since the 9th. What's going on here?
Okay, it's kind of awkward, but so it's summertime, like I'm wearing shorts in class, and I remember we're in the last class, I forget exactly, I think it's developmental neuroscience, maybe it's still systems, I'm not sure. One of the classes that we were in, we were done with core at this time, and so Carl Fenninger, I believe, was the professor, and he's notoriously he's hard, he's strict, and so I remember we were having this lecture, and it seemed like, James was there not taking notes, kind of, off in his own thing, and so Carl called him out to ask a question, and I think he maybe stumbled and then answered, and then after class, I got this text. Apparently I was in shorts, and it was distracting.
Out of the blue.
Yes.
Now, in between the 9th and the 23rd, in between these text exchanges, had you had any more contact with the defendant other than seeing him in class?
No, so that's why I was a bit taken aback. I remember just kind of laughing out loud when I received that text message, just being kind of embarrassed.